So I hope my screen is visible to you now, right? And let
Mhm.
us proceed further with that ORM Spring ORM integration with MySQL. So most of the things we have covered so far itself, and everything is okay. Now what we need to do, simply we need to convert that Spring ORM which we have completed using XML based configuration that we are going to shift with Java based integration, isn't it? So that XML based only will replace it with Java based configuration, that's it, and everything will be the same itself, isn't it? For that just whatever we had that previous one, that we are going to make a copy of it and then we'll paste it, and that XML based will remove and then we'll make for that Java based configuration, right? So Spring ORM Java based CRUD, that CRUD leave it. This is the practice one, right? Let me make it copy and paste it once again. So you can see you are having this complete project, right? What you can do, right click on it, just copy it, and over here again right click and paste it, that's it. Select paste option, complete project will get pasted, but over here you need to change the name. This is XML based we have done, this is Java based, BASED app 01, this is app 01, you can make it. Everything will be the same as same the copy, which one copy of this one, isn't it, over here. So this is what Java based. In this we are everything we have already completed so far. Now we are going to replace this, what configuration we have done in this Hibernate configuration. For that let us have one config, and in this we'll make it Java based configuration. One class will prepare over here, and that class name would be what, spring, sorry, spring hyphen orm hyphen spring orm config, spring config, or hyphen spring orm config, spring orm spring dot orm dot config, right? Let me spring orm dot config and spring config, that's it. Configuration, what is that configuration file, you already know, right? And how we are going to make it configuration class, by annotating it at that configuration. These annotations we have to use it, right? Along with that we have to use component scan, component component scan. Why we require this component scan? Because that IOC component, then value, that IOC, we need to give that package name from which package he must have to get this class configuration class, isn't it? For that we are making it at the config. Hello, hello guys, give me 1 minute, I'm getting one call.
Mhm.
हाँ बोल. हेलो, बैठल छी, कुछ काम करै छी, बोल ना, का कहै छी? ठीक है, खाना पीना भे गेलो? खाना पीना भे गेलो? हाँ तो ठीक, और सब बढ़िया? ठीक है, तो हम बाद में बोल कॉल करै छी. So over here, see, we can see that like component scanner, that base package we need to give it. So base package, over here you need to select this one, and that base package com dot chandan, that's it. That much only give, com dot chandan. This one com dot chandan is common in all package, right? That is
Right.
called base package com dot chandan.
Mhm.
Later on what we have given name, that is okay, but base package name com.channel, it is common in all, right? So you can give this one, and accordingly spring Spring IOC container will scan your base package, and there they will try to get that configuration file java base which we are configuring over here. What do we mean by configuration file? Simply it means that we are going to configure all those required configuration related with this Spring ORM over here. Whenever a Spring IOC container will execute this class, and once a Spring IOC container will get to know that this class is annotated with @configuration annotation, simply IOC container will get to know, okay, this is one Java configuration file in which some configuration will happen. It means what? They will that IOC container will get to know, okay, inside this configuration file I can get n number of bean configuration over here. Means what? From here we can get to know that which class bean I need to create and keep it inside that Spring IOC container, isn't it? So this configuration class simply means that bean definition will give inside this class, isn't it? And for that we need to create bean at method level. Remember, bean we can create in two ways. When suppose we didn't use that at the rate bean annotations earlier, but we had explained IOC container that you need to create bean for this class. How, Suman, can you tell me?
Yes.
Suppose you are having one simple class which is that encapsulated class, right, having getter, setters and two string method. For that class you need to instruct IOC container that you have to make bean of this class. How you will do that? You no need to use XML based. How you will do that?
Okay. First, I have to configure in that bean section here.
No configuration you no need to use. Simple,
Then
you have one class.
annotation based we can do.
Which one? Which you will use?
There is configuration is there, and
No, not configuration is not there. Which other annotations you will
bean
use?
added bean.
No, bean annotations also. Bean annotation you are going to use inside that configuration only, right? That bean annotation and configuration you don't need to use. Now you are having simple Java class. You need to instruct IOC container that you must have to make bean of this class. How you will instruct that? Without using XML configuration also. Tell me.
Component, added component.
Yes,
Period.
yes, yes. Absolutely fine. For that we have already learned that stereotype annotations, isn't it? In that stereotype, what are those stereotype annotations? @component, @controller, @service, @repository. We have done n number of practice on this, right, earlier.
Yes.
Any configuration any annotation you use from that stereotype annotation, that is simply going to tell a Spring IOC container that you must have to create bean for this class, isn't it? By default, what would be the bean name? The bean name would be that class name itself. By first character will be in small. If you want to give bean name, you can give that bean name also on that component annotations, isn't it? These things we have learned. So that is one way to instruct IOC container to create bean for this class. That is class level bean creation. Over here we are going to, this is the class configuration. Over here we are going to create n number of beans, and that bean, it means what? It will instruct IOC that you need to create a bean, but it will instruct that IOC container that you need to create bean for it, but this bean creation is at method level, not at the class level. How? Because that @bean annotation we will use on that method. Getting my point? So first, data source, data source, data source. Then which one? Data source, which one? Driver manager data source, DRIVER MANAGER driver manager data source. This is one class, right? Driver manager data source, right? And this is data source over here, SQL. You need to use this data source SQL. Driver manager data source equal to new driver manager data source, source, driver manager data source, or local session factory data source, I think, suppose so. Let us check it. In this configuration, which one we have used, local session factory or driver manager data source itself we have used. Okay, fine. So data source, and it must have to return something. First I am returning null, such that that error will go away. At the rate bean, which will instruct IOC container that you need to create a bean of this class, but this bean is at the rate method label, means using this method label also we can create the bean. Not we can, IOC need to create bean, we can instruct using at this method level also, right? Now this data source we need to set properties, right? Which property is related with data source? Set driver class name. Which class name? Com dot mysql dot cj dot jdbc dot driver, isn't it? Data source dot set url. What is that url? jdbc clone mysql clone double slash local host clone 3306, and let me check that data name which we have given over here, that spring orm 2026, spring orm 2026, saved it, done. Next thing, data source dot data source dot set username. What is username of my database? Root. Then what is password of this data source? Data source dot set password, and password is which one? govt. This is the password of MySQL database, and everything we have done configuration with that. Now we need to return this data source. Why we need to return this data source, and where we require these? When we have learned it at XML based Spring ORM integration with MySQL, at that moment we have already discussed what are those necessary bin configuration we need to consider, and we need to configure it, isn't it? We must have to configure data source, then session factory. This session factory is an interface, and its implemented class is which one? Local session factory bean. This data source is also an interface, its implementation class is which one? Driver manager data source. So driver manager data source, and then we need to give all the properties. This data source we need to give input to session factory, because ultimately session factory is a factory which will produce session object, isn't it? That session object is required to give this Hibernate template, isn't it? So for creating this session factory we must have to have that data source. For that data source we have created over here. Now this data source we will give input to this session factory data source object, isn't it? Data source object means what? Data source bean. Now session factory is an interface, it is not a class. So for it implemented class is which one? Local session factory bean. We have given that class here. Now this session factory required three things. What are those three things? It required data source property, it required annotated classes, and it required Hibernate properties. Three things. So over here data source property given, right? Data source property given. Now this is what? This is annotated class, annotated classes. Properties given, right? Yes, two properties is given. Next property is which one? Next property is Hibernate properties. That Hibernate properties where we have given, here we have given, isn't it? So this is what? Hibernate properties. This is what? XML based configuration. Hibernate properties, right? Which we had to give to whom? Session factory, isn't it? So this is Hibernate properties, this is annotated classes, and this is data source. That's it. Our session factory is ready over here, right? Session factory is ready. Next thing is what? Hibernate template bean we need to create. This Hibernate template bean required what? Session factory object. Session factory object we have created already, so this we have referred over here. Getting my point? Now up to here everything is okay, done. We can save data into database also, but to make it permanent save, make it permanent commit on database level, we must have to use transaction manager. For that transaction manager we need to create one bean over here. We have created bean, and this transaction manager required session factory object, so given, right? And due to this only we were able to use transactional annotations over service level, service simple level, isn't it? Then only database got set into that database, stored into the database permanently. We have already seen. We have done configuration for transaction. To activate this we need transaction schema. For that you must have to create one transaction schema in XML base. This one, for this you need to use define this one also. To activate annotations you need to use context schema. This context schema you need to add, as well as transaction schema. For that both context is this one and transaction is this one. Two you need to add over here as well as over here. When you have context, using this context you can activate annotations. Annotation activation at Java class level. What it means, the annotation which you will use on Java class, that annotation will get activated, right? This is component scan. It will scan your base package. It will scan your base package in order to get what? Java Pojo class details. Why required Java Pojo class details? Because when IOC container will try to create a bean for Pojo class, first a Spring IOC container must have to know actually where is the path of this Pojo class. Then only he can create that IOC container can create a bean for that or not. If will not give the path, how that will IOC container itself scan and get to know where is written this class, isn't it? For that this path is required, isn't it? Component scan is required, such that a Spring IOC container will go where? At this package and onwards, and it will scan all, and if it will found over there it will create bean. That's it. Now that is annotation activation as well as component scan. Next thing is which one? Transaction bean we have created, but that transaction we need to activate or not. For that, using this transaction schema tx colon annotation driven, then you need to transaction manager, and transaction manager which you have used over here, you need to give this bean name. That's it. Now you can use transaction, you can use any annotations in that your project, it will work, right? This is XML based, we have done so far. So yes, now our data source at Java based completed. Next thing is which one? Session factory we need to create, isn't it? For these three things required, right? Yes. Session factory configuration: public session factory get session factory, isn't it? Session Hibernate session factory, yes. Then from here return null, done. Make it bean @bean, done, right? This session factory is an interface. Its implementation class is which one? Local session factory, then bean, local session factory bean, and session factory equal to new local session factory bean, done. This session factory bean requires three things. What are those three things? Session factory dot set data source. Which data source? Data source or get data source. Get data, sorry, get what? Data source. Get data source. Get data source. One configuration done, right? Next thing is which one? Session factory dot set annotated classes. Set annotated classes, isn't it? What are those annotated classes? We need to give over here com dot chandan dot entity dot student, then dot class. This is one annotation class. If you will have multiple classes, a student, employee and other, all those classes you need to set over here as it is, which we have set. Now properties we need to give it, right? Which properties? Hibernate properties. Session factory dot set what? Hibernate properties, right? Get properties. This properties we need to create. How we are going to create get properties? This, for this you need to set properties. Can we set it over here? No. For that you need to create a bean for this property. No. PUBLIC public properties. Now this get properties, that's it. Or over here no need to give any properties. Get hibernate properties, right? Hibernate properties. Over here you write hibernate properties. Done. It will return null right now, but properties we need to set. For that property class we are a properties, properties equal to new properties. Done. This properties dot put key value pair dot put what? That properties name you need to assign it over here. So these two properties you need to give. What are those two and how we are going to give? This one is which one? Hibernate dialect, HBM2 DDL, then show SQL, format SQL, and finally return this property. That's it. For this we need to configure it. Let me check it inside that what we are going to give in over here. Properties and properties value, this will be the value, and properties name Hibernate dialect, Hibernate DIALECT, Hibernate dialect, and over here that dialect name you need to give. Then over here hibernate
DDL.
dot dialect, no, hibernate dot yes, HBM2 DDL dot AUT, and this property you need to assign it over here. What? Update. Now next thing is which one? At this moment you need to assign hibernate dot show underscore SQL, and that you need to make it true. Then over here what? Hibernate dot format SQL, and this property you need to make it true over here, right? True. That's it. Let me cross check whether this what I have written it is correct or not, which I have already done over here. Java based CRUD operations. In this let me check it this whether it is correct or not. Spring config, I didn't done so. Okay, if any problem will come, we'll check it, isn't it? Hibernate over here it is there. Let me check it. Hibernate ORM configuration and property only. Let me check it how I have done it over here. Session fact hibernate dot dialect, then hibernate dot HBM2 DDL dot auto So SQL for everything is same. Dialect D is capital, I wrote it over here, right? Let me make it D small, and the value, how you will get it the value, just you need to come a class, press Ctrl Shift T, and then dialect, my SQL dialect. You got it? Double
Mm-hmm.
click, then right click on it and fully copy qualified name, just you copy it, come over here where in that configuration file java base, and over here in place of value you put it. But my mysql is a mysql server 8, for that mysql 8 I need to put it over here. Done. This one update, this one true, this one true, properties is completed. Now next thing what we required, actually over here we required public, then hibernate template, get hibernate template. Done. Yes. Now return what? Null. Is there any error? No. For this bean required, at the rate bean. Done. Over here hibernate template, hibernate template, hibernate template equal to new what? Hibernate template. Done. This hibernate template required properties to set. What property? Session factory dot set properties, set hibernate dot, what is that?
So,
Set property is there or not? After property set, not property, session factory na.
mm-hmm.
Set session factory, right? Get session factory. Done. And then return what? Session hibernate template. Done. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is okay over here. Now what we need to do, we need to come at our, this is what a student is a class, we know it already. We are having a student service. Done. We are having service impl over here. Done. And this one, which is what? XML based, will remove, delete it. XML based not required because we have converted it into java based, so deleting this one. Got deleted, right? Right click on it, refresh your project, it will arrange your package. Done. Now in this hibernate template at the rate autowire, at the rate transactional, at the rate service. Done. And this is what? Constructor level injection, dependency injection. Is there any dependency? This is a class. In this class is there any dependency? Yes. What is that dependency? Another class object. Which is another class? Hibernate template class. This is another class object which we have created a reference variable over here inside this student service impl class. It means what? This student service class, student service impl class contains reference variable, isn't it? So dependency is there. Yes. For that dependency injection required. Yes. Dependency injection we can do in multiple ways. This is one of the way. Which one? Constructor level dependency injection. Done. In dependency injection done. Yes. Now we need to save a student. Yes. Save a student, return a student. Done or not?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Will come where? Will come into our
Main.
database. So why will come into our database? Will remove the earlier table. Why need to remove? Because that table is been created using XML base. Now we are working on java base, so I'm going to remove this. Use this one. Done. So tables, now drop table, Drop you command you can use for database as well as table also. Drop table, then table name student semicolon, hit enter, done. Now show tables. Is there any tables available? No tables, right? Now we are going to execute this program. Which program? This program. This is Java based configuration. Once it will get executed, it is having entity class. It means what? Since it is ORM integration, means that a student will get created into database. So run as, debug as. Why it is telling debug as and run as? Where is our main application?
It's a downside. Spring ORM main class. That last package on.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
Yes. So we'll have to click here, right click and run it, right?
Now
But
we have to
now
configure.
configure it. Yes, correct. How we are going to configure it? Now
Annotation.
will use this one or not? No.
No, no,
This
no.
is application context which we are using for getting XML based, right? Now which one configuration we need to use? Application context, application config,
Annotation.
annotation config. Yes, ANNOTATION, annotation config, application what, context. This one we required. Yes, then IOC, you can give name any, either context you can give or IOC give.
Hmm.
IOC is good, right?
Hmm.
New, ANNOTATION, annotation config application context, done. And this one required what, tell me?
That
It
class
requires
of Spring
class.
config.
Yes. So I think some mismatching is happening over here. Let me paste it. Done, error gone. That class name we need to give here, com. So give it in the double quote, com dot chandan dot
Hmm.
spring spring orm, no, com dot chandan dot spring
Frame
orm dot
config.
config dot
Spring config dot class.
spring config dot
Class.
class.
Sir, I think
That's
double
all.
quote will be not there.
Yes.
Double
So
quote. We no need double quote.
not required, right?
Hmm.
Done. Done. And using this Hibernate config, we are getting bean of Hibernate template. It will give us that Hibernate template bean. We are getting a student class bean. Yes, we are a student class bean. We have not defined a student class, right? So
Hmm.
let us come inside this configuration and do configuration for that a student class also. So for that bean, how we are going to define it over here? Public student get student, and from here return what, new student. That's it. And make it what, at the
Bin.
rate bean, and inside that give the name of that bean which we have used, student. That's it. And import this package, done. So we'll come in that main class, and this student bin which I have given over here, it will work, right?
Hmm.
Now in this main method, right click and execute. Let me remove this which is not required, this one also, done. Now right click on it, run it, Java application. Just try to see, as well as just will check database also. If any error will come, we'll solve that. Oh, came error creating bean with the name get Hibernate template. Section factory is required, get Hibernate template. transactional student service config get hibernate template.
You are not creating the bean of Fiban properties.
Where?
Properties are not inside that bean tag.
No, no, bean not required for this property.
Okay.
I think let me check it. Get session factory. This is also been done. Properties required bean. Hibernate template and then transaction manager.
Hmm.
TX. Transaction manager also be required.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Otherwise, it will not
trans
receive that Fiban into the database.
let me take this transaction manager, come over here. Where is that? We are having over here properties bean at the rate bean and then transaction manager once done. Let us come over here in that main method and run it. Remembering each and everything is not possible, isn't it? So we'll have to, once we'll do practice again and again, everything will come into our mind.
Mm-hmm.
So certain times we need to check it out. Still error with get hibernate template defined.
Properties required session.
Oh, that session factory. I am returning what? See null.
Hmm.
Control C, Control B. Now it will shout on us that type mismatch cannot convert from local session factory bin to session factory bin. For that we need to give it local session factory bin. Where? Over here, not session factory. Or should we give it or not? Let us check it out. internally that will be converted by whom?
Mhm.
That IOC container. Now it is, I suppose it is working now, right?
Mhm.
Let us see. Still write
Mhm.
operations are not allowed in
Yeah,
read only mode. Plus menu, turn your session into plus. This one we got in earlier days also, right?
yeah, yeah. Right. Perfect. Read only.
Then we have already used at the rate transactional, right? Then what is the issue coming over here?
Mhm.
Student service simple. We will come in student service simple over here at the rate
Yeah, yeah.
transaction
Here
already used.
we have to make this transactional as a false.
Here,
Mm.
I suppose no, right? Transactional in that next XML based we have done practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is that XML based?
XML, XML.
Not here in that service simple, right?
It's same. It's same.
Same thing. Yes. I think that got generated tables. Yes. DESC, this value is their auto increment student name. That is also fine. But at this moment, why it is not
Okay.
saving the data?
It's only read only mode, so writing is not allowed.
That's the reason at the rate transactional I have used now.
Mm-hmm.
Transactional properties I have used, right? At the rate transactional.
And read only make false. Then it will write.
Yes. Let me check it. Give it to chat GPT. Read only, I didn't give it and read only, right? Okay, let me do this. Set flush mode hibernate template dot flush auto. Where is that hibernate template? This one, right? Hibernate template dot set. What? Set flush mode. Flush mode is not there.
Sir, once go that student service in the where season.
Okay, that service student I'm giving trying to save it. The value we need to assign it now. TUDNT student dot set ID 1001. No, this is another thing
Mhm.
that is not related with that transaction, but value let me give it a student name Chandan. On this main class
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is not required, no?
It would be not working in that main class also.
Yes. Then we are having service simple, and this at the rate service annotation is there, at the rate transactional annotation is there over here. Student service hibernate template, this name also I have given. Let me once verify it. Marvin update project force update. Okay, then come inside. Let me try to run it once again as Java application.
Can once make it source field footage also. I think it will not.
Should I need to assign give this definition of bin also? Student service
No, I think no. Student service is only required. Student service.
annotations
Yeah,
already
yeah.
है ना.
It will create automatically na,
Okay.
because student service IMPL you are assigning that of stereotype annotation inside the student service IMPL.
Why it is telling so?
because it's not a generic type now. It's not taking any value.
Then make it a student service. Or control Z, student service. C, to B, and this we need to simply do one thing. Come inside here, remove this and make it at the rate autowire here itself. Come to this configuration, error gone, return this service, control V, and where is our main method? In this one, let us try to do that. Why we need over here this one? Okay, so all you just try to do practice on it and try to get the solution for this problem which we are facing right now, and we'll meet tomorrow and we'll try to solve it, because everything is okay, only read and write operation which we had faced during that XML based configuration still we are facing in this. which one that Java
Yeah.
based configuration also. Our configuration is correct. If some changes required, you can try to do it at your end. If you will get success, that is well and good. If you won't get, tomorrow I will try my in my available time to look for it, and if we'll get the solution, definitely we'll get solution, and then we'll explain you in the next session. Any query, I will be sharing you everything is same as it is. Only
Mhm.
you need to do changes in what sorry, only you need to do changes in
Spring configuration Java and also
configuration Java based. Yes, so do it at your end, and tomorrow we'll meet in the next session. Any doubt?
no, sir, not for now.
No, no, sir, no, sir.
that that is basically related with read and write operations on that
Yes, sir.
transactional which we are using, right? So just you try to
Mm-hmm.
get it at your end. If you will get, that is well and good. Try to get it. If you won't get, tomorrow we'll meet. Thanks dear El. Then you can leave for the day. I am sharing this Java base, and you can do practice on it. Only Suman is doing practice. Even he is having final semester exam, still he is working on that assessment, and he is completing and
Sir,
sharing in that group.
hello, sir. Yes, I have
Yes.
also done, but there are some errors are there. So I will try to resolve that and then I will definitely send you.
Yes, yes, to do that,
Thank you.
isn't it?